You frightened the life out of us.
Scared the wits out of us.
Peter Hitchener has just walked in live into the studio. Normally we cross to Channel 9 and he's there in the newsroom, but he was here in the flesh, walked through the door, and I'm nearly having rabbits.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you frightened the life out of
Bruce, I'm sorry. I know it's a bit scary getting up close and personal with
When
me.
you walked in, I thought, is it an executive? Is it somebody from Anderson McNair?
Yeah, we never see anybody in a tie this time of the night.
Is it a tax collector? Who is it? And then it's Peter Hitchener.
Is it a taxidermist?
How did you get away?
Hang on, Lee, how'd you get through security?
Oh,
you've got a card.
So, Peter, how did you get away from 9?
Well, the good thing, Bruce, is that tonight the late news is not coming out of Melbourne because of the fires in Sydney. So we've got a special bulletin of fires in Sydney. So I chatted to Simon, and we decided that I would sneak over here. During the news, I sat in your newsroom during the 9 o'clock news and listened to Pat reading the 9 o'clock news and snuck to around.
You did it very
And I'm very sorry to have frightened you. I know it can be a bit scary.
It's a bit like this is your life.
It is rather.
He looks a bit like Roger Clemson, too. But it's very hard to sneak in here, isn't
Actually, it really is.
Because I would have caught sight of you, don't worry.
Yes, I know, and I thought Bruce had seen me before.
I had a look at the profile, and I thought,
Who's that chubby?
no, there's a bloke from the Age.
I wonder which one.
Don't ask.
I wonder if Kaya Vachuka has the answer to our. We're struggling to find out the name of David Gingel's wife, and I've suddenly remembered.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah,
I can tell you, but,
yeah, I know.
see if one of the callers
Maybe
knows.
if Kay might know.
Do you know Kay?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Kay.
Hi, Bruce. Hi, John.
And Peter.
Hello.
And Peter. Hello, Peter. Now, I'm just ringing up. I'm so glad the elections are over, but I am so confused. I am so worried about Tony Abbott having to deal with all these minority parties.
Yeah.
Now, we have the Sex Party in Bendigo, who's run by Mr. Crutchfield.
Yes. Right.
Now, yes, thank you, John.
That's okay. No, I talked last night about Mrs. Crutchley, my late piano teacher. Who used to teach me every Thursday night. Yeah.
Yes, but she obviously wasn't in the Sex Party. But I'm just so confused. How is he going to deal with these people? Because can you believe this would be for real, that name? Can you please give me an answer? How is Tony Abbott going to deal with...
Well, I think he has quite a job on his hand, hasn't he, for all those minorities.
Yeah.
I think
good on. Thanks for your call.
Thanks
Kay.
very much indeed, Kay.
Sorry, I actually...
Good night.
I misjudged that call.
Yeah, no, that was fine.
I thought it was going to be talking about Layla McKinnon.
Layla McKinnon.
Yes,
thank you.
Layla McKinnon
thank you.
filling in for Tracy for a couple of weeks.
Who's on leave.
She's on leave.
Good.
And terrible things happening in Sydney at the moment with those fires. They're shocking.
But graphic on 9 this afternoon from 4:30.
There's
The sort of stuff you see in December or January or February.
I hope it's not a portent of things to come in Victoria this summer.
You know, they were saying the temperature is 30 degrees. Yes, that is hot, but it was that driving wind and the undergrowth that's as dry as a chip.
Yes, apparently they haven't had much rain now.
No,
apparently
no.
It's very dry and terrible to see that Australia going through this again. I know it's just inevitable that we will have fires.
Yeah. Did you sprint over here from Docklands? Like leaping great lizards across the
Yes. People said, "Oh, there's a great lizard." Oh, no. Whatever that bloke's name is from the television. Yeah. Is it Brian? Is it Mike?
Did you drive over?
Actually, I did today.
Oh, did you? Oh, really?
But I didn't expect to see both of you looking so immaculate, impeccable. Booze, I haven't seen you in here in the studio ever. It's a wonderful treat. And here you are looking $100 million, if I may say so.
Well, he does every night,
That's
Peter.
true.
Every
You look
night.
wonderful.
Sometimes you've got to make that. Go to the trouble of having a shower and powdering up.
Looking $100 million, which you do. And I must say John Blackman does too.
Well, no, thank you, Peter. But I mean, Bruce, this is all the ABC training, of course.
You never worked on the ABC.
Oh,
did you work on the ABC?
I did, actually, for 7 years.
In Brisbane, wasn't it?
In Brisbane, yes. And Sydney for a little while, and then somebody kindly rang me from Channel 9 and said, "Look, why don't you come and work for us?" And I thought, well, that's not a bad idea, actually.
You and I started on the first day.
Yes, I remember.
I remember. In 1973, 74.
Yes, I remember.
And you started with Eric Pearce.
Eric Pearce. And I came to Melbourne and everyone said, "Oh, Bruce Mansfield, it's such a loss leaving Channel 9. We wish he was still here with us. And I thought, thanks very much.
You're joking.
and I thought, I always looked at Bruce Mansfield with awe and thought, he is brilliant. And then I heard your work and I thought, actually, he's also extremely funny.
But I bowed out, John, about that time when Packer said, no more IMTs. We're getting rid of them. Clive Packer. Clive Packer came down. It was in the canteen, I remember one night, and all the ballet were sacked. The songwriters.
Shocking, wasn't it?
Did you do anything on IMT? Did you do commercials, or you did comedy sketches?
Sketches with Graham Kennedy.
Did you play the Chinese Superman who flung the cape?
Daryl Summers.
Hilarious.
Now, Peter, I'm sorry, Peter, can I thank you, by the way,
John,
for leaving 3AW, because I got your job.
Oh, and what
I got your job.
Brilliant. What a fantastic era that
it goes without saying.
It's
absolutely.
And it's wonderful listening to you both together again.
Do you know, I remember Peter Hitchener at 3AW with Jackie Clancy, great idol, if you like.
Yes.
And you both complimented each other with the straight man.
Jackie was... He was hilarious, but absolutely and utterly unpredictable.
Were you working in 24-hour delay?
Well, yes.
He was on 3XY when I was there with Bill Ackfield.
That's right.
A day recorded beyond.
Yes.
I was at Tiki and John's one night. It was dark and they were singing a song and I felt this hand on my pants. Bill had died about 2 weeks prior.
You're not laughing at that.
I felt his hand on my pants. And it was Jackie on his hands and knees. Bruce, I want to work with you. We can make magic together. Hit me, Bruce, hit me.
I know.
That wouldn't be the first time you had an offer like that in the theatre. Dear.
Jackie Clancy was a genius, as you know.
Yeah.
What you walked into the studio, and it was awash with pieces of paper that he'd written half the joke. So the setup was there, and the tag was on another piece of paper. So he'd hand you, and he'd just hand it to you, and, and so you'd be sight reading the joke, the first part of it, and then he'd be fishing around for the tag.
That's right. Yes.
And this went on for, I suppose, about half an hour or an hour, and we had to edit it down to 14 or 15 minutes. Quite a job. But Jackie Clancy was the most remarkable personality and a wonderful person, and he'd worked in the Butlins holiday camps in the UK and had all sorts of experiences.
In the prison, the Japanese
prisoner of war.
Changi, that's right.
And that affected him, as I think probably most everyone who goes to war comes back forever changed because of it, and Jackie Clancy certainly was. And
comedy was his way of sort of forgetting about all the horrors that he must have lived through.
The dear thing, and he had such compassion for people, for minorities, and he was really quite a remarkable bloke.
He was.
And sadly, both passed now, of course. And I think Bill, he died in a car accident.
With a motorbike. He used to drive a motorbike. That's right. From Melbourne back to his Hillsville property.
And how did Jackie go? Did he die of natural causes?
Quite sure. I'm not quite sure, really. But
they were remarkable days. And you remember who we both, you probably remember who, Terry Smith. Do you remember the American?
That's right.
Terry Gardner Smith used to call him.
That's right.
He was the one that actually gave me your job, which was
isn't that
quite remarkable.
How did that happen, John? Were you on the books or did you do an audition or something?
No, I can't remember now, but I think Peter took my job when 3AK.
We did it. We sort of just did a switch.
Popular station.
But weren't you working at nights with Alex Kenworthy at that time?
Yes, I was.
You?
Yes, I was. Yes, it was my first job out of Canberra.
So you were in the sights of Terry Smith.
6 till midnight. Thank you very much indeed. And Alex was on from 9:30 till midnight. Yeah. So so I've paid my dues.
Among my favourite memories of Melbourne radio. Sister Norell,
yes.
Story Time. Yes. I think it was one of the great institutions of Melbourne radio, and to this day, I just hope, just every now and again, Sister Norell will pay a visit.
She's a very big fan. Very big fan. In fact, she's just walked in the studio.
Well, you know, and she is accompanied by John Ellicott. Cowboy Carl, and Cowboy Bob, and the dear little girl Angela.
Angela. It sounded so much like the angel on Hey Hey at Saturday.
Yes, and I sound a bit like Dickie Nugget too, except I'm Sticky Jones.
Now listen,
I was Uncle Roy.
I have to say, I worked a lot with Eric Pierce on 3XY and 3DB, and I was so delighted, I was overcome with emotion when he tied up with Peter Hitchener on GTV9.
Yeah, that's right. I like predict big things for Hitchener. Sean Ellicott here occasionally didn't recognise the voice. John Deese as well. What's his name? Terry Deer. I've had a few Terry Deers with young Hitchener.
Well, you know, it's good to have you with us on Australia's Amateur Hour. This is through 2GB Sydney, 3BO Ballarat, and 3AW Melbourne. We've got some very fine talent on the show tonight, and Margot Sheridan's over there at the piano with Sister Norel.
Thank you, Terry. What an absolute delight. And so nice to have you. Now, you behave yourself, Eric.
Just a second, hang on. Look who's walked in. It's Graham Kennedy.
Oh, hello everyone, this is IMT. We've got Bert on the show tonight. Diana Dawes is a very special guest, and Jeff Cork's got an ad here for Dulux. Thank you, Corky.
You say Dulux, or you said Dulux, didn't you?
I think that's what he said.
He said Durex.
Oh, very funny.
Dear.
Very funny.
Days, yeah.
Thank you very much for the impromptu performance of Storytime. It was wonderful.
A breath of fresh air here tonight. It really has,
Thank you.
hasn't he?
Yes, I know.
Lovely seeing you.
What is that?
Thank you very much.
What are you wearing? His Old Spice?
Are you rushing back to do news now, or do you wrap up for the night?
I can wrap up for the night now because our late news is out of Sydney tonight. Normally we have the late news from Melbourne, so I stick around and do that. But
does Tony Jones ever realise what the faces people are pulling at him when he's outside Etihad Stadium? That's the funniest part, actually.
It's very tough. It's very tough for going out on the road because everybody knows TJ and everybody wants to sometimes have a joke and sometimes join in. But
he never loses his cool.
He's very witty and very funny, very fast. Oh,
and Pete,
can do anything.
Just before you go, any bloopers of you? Everybody's very familiar with that big seagull.
I've done every stupid thing in the world.
You have a very wicked and cunning sense of humour, and when that emerges, it's sometimes very hard to get back to normal. And sometimes your only outlet is with the weather.
Rebecca Judd.
Which she'll say, hope you have a lovely night, and I hope you do too. And your only opportunity to go, oh, thank you so much.
It's a very happy team.
Do you ever get calls from lip readers saying, "Oh, I know what you said" when they went to the?
Well, the thing is, we always just say,
it's just
day-to-day stuff. We never say anything outrageous.
Rhubarb, wobble, wobble, wobble.
Well, we just have a yarn. That's what you do.
Oh, you're an ornament to the game.
Thank you both very much for having me here.
I've got to say, congratulations on those ratings this year. They are sensational.
It's going well at the moment. We're most grateful for people's support, but as you know, ratings come and go. It's a team thing. And
take it while they're there.
While they're there, absolutely.
Show off a bit.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Show us those muscles. We're still the one.
And remember, there's no I in team.
Oh, no.
There is an M and an E, though.
Thank you, Peter, so much. A real treat.
Lovely to see you.
That's very good, because normally you would hear the studio quality of Peter coming live from Channel 9, but he was in the studios at 3AW with us.
With the microphones are so much better.
So much better. Oh, yes. And the company is fabulous.
Andrew McLaren, if you're listening, that deserves a replay about 3:30 tomorrow morning. 25 past.
They're your stories.
I was fishing through my bag and I pulled out 3 carton cutters from work.
So